walks and none remain. Its steps resound through shattered skies. A god of war that never dies.
Oh, sorry. You caught me fulfilling a guilty pleasure. It's funny that you should catch me doing that because it's actually pretty apt. Today we're going to be talking about the Black Pants Legion Battletech Mechwarrior lore, the Atlas. This is the second in the playlist. We're finally getting back to it. Finally not going to just be doing random videos from here on out. We're just going to be talking mechs, and more mechs. So with that said, grab your snacks, grab your drinks, and let's get right into the film. TED Talks Battletech, the Atlas. Ooh. I love the Skyrim-esque music, like the combat music we have going on here. And then Bitch and Betty shows up too.
Destroyed.
I'm playing Mechwarrior too.
Takes of the Black Pants Legion, and it's time to talk Battletech.
Indeed.
In this series, I will be exploring Battletech as a setting, talking about the lore, the wars, the people, and most importantly, the mechs. In the setting of Battletech, sooner or later, you're going to see an Atlas.
Oh, yes.
Probably because it's the very definition of an assault mech. It's big. It's scary. It even has a fucking spooky skull face.
The mark of the skull. The promise of ruin.
I mean, what's not to love? At 100 tons even, and spouting enough armor and weaponry to crush most mechs head-on or underfoot. The Atlas is an iconic representation of the assault mech class. Intimidating, bold, and angry. The Atlas was originally designed under specifications from none other than Alexander Griffin himself in 2755, probably in a bid to ensure that the Star League Defense Force maintained absolute military superiority over untrustworthy and fickle member states.
You know, it's funny that he was the one who put out the specifications. And generally it's a very formidable mech until you start messing around with stuff in other mechs like these. And then you start to realize that the Atlas can be used by a lot of different people in order to maintain military superiority. But as soon as you start messing with things, the Atlas really doesn't stand a chance at that point.
Perhaps
but again,
Griffin saw the future coming, with the constant arms race of the inner sphere hastening its demise, and thus wanted to guarantee that any rebellious notions were quashed upon seeing the full might of the SLDF. Griffин's specifications
you can definitely try.
Somewhat poetic, though in truth practical as the man
Yo mama.
and was himself. Griffin was directly quoted to say that he wanted a mech as powerful as possible, as impenetrable as possible, and as ugly and foreboding as conceivable, so that fear itself will be our ally. Perhaps not the words to share with the general public. However,
I mean, yeah, that's definitely one that goes in the history books way after the fact.
it's just the right choice of words for dedicated engineers who turned the mighty forges of war. From the Ameris Civil War to Operation Exodus, through the Succession Wars, the Clan Invasion, and the FedCom Civil War, from Solaris 7 to the Battle of Luthien, the Atlas has stood its ground and pounded flat all opposition. Built by...
You know what's funny is, I've seen a lot of Atlases in Solaris matches, You know what ends up happening to most of them? That skull plate comes right off real easy. Just saying, like, if you ever need some help taking down an Atlas, aim your barrels a little bit higher towards the sky and just pray. Pray to RNGesus that you just send that thing sky high. It might just save your life.
Defiance Industries, Independent Weaponry, Robinson Standard Battle Works, and Yori Mech Works. There is no shortage of the Atlas. Merely enough for whatever the hell you need one for. If you can afford it, that is. Oftentimes the Atlas is just the perfect weapon system for the job. That job slowly entails steamrolling a planet's defenses flat, comfortably seated in the confines of your Death's Head cockpit. That's quite...
The way that this thing is, like, animated in this particular image is just... It is beautiful. I think this is from Hired Steel, if I'm not mistaken. It's like an old, like, cartoon series, if I remember correctly. Or, like, somebody was animating it. I forget. Somebody was talking about it in the comments of one of the last videos, so... I definitely need to have a look at it. Not to be confused with the Steel Bounties, which is, like, the Mechwarrior 2 game that's going to be coming out sometime this year. At some point, we'll see. We'll see.
Reasonable for 9.6 million C-bills on the...
I mean, 9.6 million C-bills. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad, considering the fact that the Awesome, for example, is like 6 million C-bills. You're getting a little bit more front armor. You're getting a few more weapons, especially this autocannon here.
Now to the
it's worth
technical
it.
details. Because of the widespread production of the Atlas and the sheer longevity and popularity of its design, it becomes very difficult to say with any certainty what a standard Atlas is almost...
I can tell you what a standard Atlas looks like. Standard Atlas comes with an AC-20 in its chest. Usually a couple lasers, maybe an SRM-6 system of some sort. Usually I'd say an SRM-4, if you can swing it. But yeah, it usually has an AC-20 about right here.
Everyone is a unique individual as its pilot.
Fair. It is a good platform.
As they have a tendency to outlive their commanders, each in turn adding to, modifying, or fine-tuning the death machine for yet another generation of classy, stompy robot mayhem. The standard Atlas, if you can call that such a thing, is the AS-7D, a mech built around commonly available...
Yes, so the production model at least had an autocannon 20, LRM 20, SRM 6, which was talking about, and then 4 medium lasers. Yeah, I was mostly correct on the production.
To ensure relatively common availability of spare parts, upgrades, and ammunition. The AS-7D has 19 tons of Duralex heavy special armor, 20 single stack heatsink.
You know, it keeps it from just being a little bit toasty in there. It keeps it just relatively cool in there. Because you know them single heat sinks are working really hard to keep your mech cool, especially with this SRM system, the medium lasers. I think the coolest thing in here might be the autocannon. Maybe.
AC-20 autocannon, 4 Defiance B3M medium lasers, a Thunder...
It's either going to be that or the lasers, but there's 4 of them.
A Far-Fire Maxi Rack LRM-20, and enough ammunition to keep it running for a fun-filled evening of carnage. The Atlas is built around combat survivability at its core, keeping in mind a philosophy of redundancy. The Atlas's weapon systems are bracketed for all ranges, assuming you will want to close with and stomp your opponent. That is, after showing them their weapons are useless against you. LRMs for long range, medium lasers for intermediate range, the SRMs and autocannon for short range, and mighty battle fists for Mechwarrior fisticuffs. If anything runs out of ammunition, there are energy-based systems. If nothing else works, there are mighty fists to pummel an opponent to dirt.
As is the Mechwarrior tradition at that point, but I don't know, if you have to go fisticuffs with a mech, you might have made a tactical error. Because I'd rather send an AC-20 shot through the cockpit of some clanner than having to straight up punch him, but I mean, it does work. Like, don't get me wrong, it works.
Armor. Truly, the Atlas lives up to its principal design considerations: assault. As previously stated, there are so many.
That is a very festive mech. I actually love the designs on this. Yeah, I wish we got that level of detail. Again, if this is coming from the... When I say stuff like that, I'm meaning more from, like, the game's perspective. Like, the first-person games, not necessarily your Battletech, Mech-Tech, tabletop. Y'all get more freedom with that. Just generally based upon the fact you can paint your
Any
minis.
Variants and versions of the Atlas that it's fairly impossible to figure out the
Annika.
The base model
Goes hard.
each is
It
often
goes
as
hard.
unique as the pilot that drives it, the unit that bought it, or where it was discovered. There are variants as command mechs. There are variants built by successor houses like the Kirita-built AS-7K. There's even a Clantech patchwork retrofit popular among certain mercenary units, in particular the AS-7D, (C), which puts
The AM7, the A7D, I think it was, is the one that I'm familiar with the most. At least among, like, the first-person games. But yeah.
Tech ballistic and missile weapons alongside inner-sphere energy weapons. This doesn't even begin to get into the unique one-offs built by warlords, mercenary lords, and Solaris pilots. And further, the Atlas has spawned another mech, which was a subversion or enhanced version of the original, the Atlas II, which was technically an exclusive variant to the Starleague Defense Forces Royal Regiments.
Might be a decent one to make a video on, because I've been wanting to look into the Atlas II, but right now I haven't had a chance to look at it just yet. Don't get me wrong, though, I want my hands on one. I definitely want my hands on an Atlas II at some point.
Forgotten by the clan invasion, only one was spotted during the 3052 Battle of Tugiad. Which mech do you want to see next? What part of this universe shall I dive into? I'll let you decide down in the comments. This channel is entirely brought to you by viewers like you, so keep that in mind. Voting, subscribing, hell, even throwing some money
Did we
into
like
the
this
change
video?
jar that is my Patreon.
I'm gonna make sure we did.
This shit. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.
It is always a great day.
Hi, my name is Ray, and on yesterday my daughter called me because she was stressed out because of things that were going on her
What
job
is this
that she
white
felt were quite
TV?
unfair. Being quite disturbed, she called for comfort, and I didn't really know what to tell her because we have to deal with so much mess in our society. So I was led to write this song just for her.
Oh boy,
to
let's
just give
hear
her
it.
some encouragement while dealing with stress and pressures on her job. And I figured I'd put it on the internet for all employees under stress to help you better deal with what you're going through on your job. Here's how the song goes. I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh,
the fucking beep in the background. The fucking beep of the smoke detector's batteries being low just sells the entire... I'm about to whoop someone's ass.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home, 'cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Now, you might not be able to sing that out loud, but you can hum it to yourself, and you know what the words are, and let it give you some strength to get through the next few moments on your job. All right?
You know what? I think this is very appropriate for this day and age. Again, I'm not going to say it, but y'all know what I mean by that. Let that apply to you in whatever situation that you have. Thank you. Thank you, Atlas. You have you have provided some comfort to some people today. And yeah, it is always a pleasure to have text talk videos to go over. It is always a lot of fun to see what new Battletech battle mech he's talking about. I'm looking forward to the Atlas too, because that one's the one I don't know about that much. And there are some mechs that I don't necessarily know about as much. And it would be cool to see, like maybe the Atlas 2 or some of the other ones I'm not necessarily as familiar with. Because we've had the Awesome, the Irby, the Atlas now that I've kind of known a lot about, but I feel like there's some that have just kind of fallen to the wayside, and I'm looking forward to those. But as always, the link to this video will be in the description below. And as always, this has been Call Sign Annika, signing out.